Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays we go live. It is Wednesday now. This week is flying by, and we're talking leadership blind spots. So, for those of you that are watching on replay, I'm glad that you found this. If you have questions about this, because this is a blind spot that a lot of you may not even be aware that's there, and that's okay, because if you don't know that it's there, you really can't be responsible for it. But once I share it with you and you become aware of it, you see the blind spot, now you got to own it. So, for those of you that are on here live, go ahead and throw questions in the chat. If you're on replay, just put your questions in the comments. You can always DM me. I'm at Cletus Coffee, because I know there's going to be some questions that come about from this, whether you're watching this immediately after I've gone live or when this could be years down the road and you're coming up. I'm really passionate about this. So I want to make sure that everyone gets the support that they need. And this might be an entry point into the work that we're doing, or I could potentially help your organization, your teams. So, leadership blind spot number one. What do you really want? And as a leader, whether you lead a team, whether you lead the actual organization, what is it that you really want? Man, this is a question that I didn't understand how to ask for the vast majority of my life and my entire business life. What do you really want? What did I really want? And when I thought about what I really wanted, it was a common response that now that I can see it, and it's now what I see so many other leaders, entrepreneurs, executives, managers continue to run into. And is that they'll say something that is along the lines of, I wanted the title, I wanted the revenue number, I wanted to own a business, I wanted to lead a team. My friends, these are all vehicles to get you to what you want. So I'll ask the question again. What do you want? And the more that you can get crystal clear on what it is that you want, then the results are going to come. So here's how the traditional way, I always used to do this, and I see so many other people doing it as well. And it's the traditional path of, okay, I'm going to start a business. This is the way I used to think. I'm going to start a business so I can make some money. When I make that money, then I'll have some freedom. I'll have some happiness. I'll find love into my life. I'll be able to relax a little bit and feel a little bit more comfortable. And so look at that trajectory. Okay, it's I want to feel this thing, but I can only get it after I start this vehicle or jump in this vehicle in order to get that result. However, what we know is we have to reframe this, and it's a never-ending chase. If you are chasing results, if you're chasing these feelings, it's gonna be very difficult to ever accomplish them. And so we have to reframe it, and we have to bring them forward, not so much looking at these feelings as a result, but more as a prerequisite. Think about this. How can you, it's not like you're all of a sudden going to get this title, whether it's your first time in leadership or you're trying to get the CEO position or some other C-suite, that once you get that position, you're going to feel like you're actually a leader now, or you're going to feel that you are respected. You're going to feel valued. It just does not happen that way. I have tried. I wanted to feel valued. I wanted to feel relevant. I wanted to feel freedom. And I kept thinking, well, if I could just make some money, then I'm going to find the happiness, the value, the respect. And it just doesn't come. And the marker moves. So now it's okay, well, I got that thing, but it's not really the respect I wanted, or it's not really the title that I wanted, or it wasn't as much money as I wanted. So now I got to move the marker a bit higher. And now I got to do even more. I got to hustle even harder. And I have to grind even more in order to find that happiness, find that fulfillment in my life. So that's the trap that we fall into, because what it and I wanted to communicate this, and I got a few notes here, but I want you to see that all the things that you really want, they are not your results. They're a prerequisite. So I'm going to put it over here on this side. So the results are over here. The prerequisite is over on this side. So if really what you want, and this is a true blind spot for so many leaders. If that's what you want, it has to be a prerequisite to you actually jumping in a vehicle and taking down this journey and going to this path. So, like I said, the marker is going to continually shift and move and evolve. So if you're saying, okay, I want the title, what's the reason for the title? What is it that you want? I want to feel valued. I want to feel respected. Cool. I want to have the bigger pay bump so I can have the vacation with my family, or I can buy the house, or I can buy the second home or the vacation home. Okay, great. What is that going to give? Those are just vehicles. What is that going to give you? What do you want? And once we can get to that feeling, that thing that you want, that now becomes a prerequisite. I have tried enough times to chase money, to try to fill a void of desperation, of need, a desire to feel valued, to feel wanted. And it doesn't work, my friend. What needs to happen, and what finally shifted for me, is making that the prerequisite. I needed to feel valued before I went down that path, before I decided to step into a leadership role. I wanted to feel respected by those that I lead. Well, I need to feel respected and respect myself as a prerequisite first. But let's just go down the line. Freedom, whatever, happiness, joy, like all those things that you really, when we boil it down, you don't want more responsibility. You don't want a bigger revenue number over your head, or to lead more people. That's simply a vehicle to get you to what you really want. So what is that? And then let's make that the prerequisite for the steps that you take going forward. So there's various different, we're obviously talking business, we're talking leadership, and building a team as a leader. We have to go first, but this can apply to relationships. This can apply to your health. Think about it. If you're someone who's like, hey, look, I need to lose some weight. I need to shed some pounds. I want to feel better. Awesome. The body's the vehicle. What is that you really want? Well, I want people to value me. I want to feel attractive. When I feel attractive, then I feel seen. Okay, cool. You want to feel seen. You want to feel valued. You want to feel loved. You want to feel respect. Cool. That's the prerequisite to you starting a journey to shaping your body composition, reshaping it. You got to love yourself first. Otherwise, again, the marker will continue to move. We see it, and I'll use health again as an example. We see it all the time with people going through these massive weight losses. We now have peptides, these GLP-1s, where people see massive changes in their bodies. And they think, massive change in my body. I'm going to look so much better. I'm going to lose all this weight. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel attractive. People are going to want me. They're going to want to date me. They're going to have sex with me. They're going to love me. And what they're finding is that's just not the case. Or subtle changes. Now it's, I'm not thin enough. Haven't lost enough weight. In order to feel those things, I got to lose a little bit more weight. And ultimately, and again, I'm no health expert, I'm no peptide expert, but what I know is when someone goes down that direction without a solid foundation, once they stop going down that direction, they're going to come right back to the very beginning. And so it's a prerequisite, not the result. So you want to feel the love for yourself. the respect, the value, to want to pour into, feeling so good about yourself, so that once you get on the other side, people feel that. People want to be a part of that. People will be attracted to that because you're already it. This has been for me, it's never an issue with health. It's always been something that just naturally come. Like for a lot of people, love, money comes naturally to them. Health, has just always come naturally to me. So everybody's different. For me, for the love side, for the money side, those were my biggest two constraints where I've had to do the most work and where I've had to learn the most lessons. And in relationships and in love, that didn't come easy for me. And yet, once I finally recognized that I was a common denominator in these challenging, broken relationships, I saw a blind spot. And once I saw that blind spot, I realized that now I had to own it. I couldn't play victim and try to get to where I really wanted to go in life. So you're not a victim either. So I had to shelve the victim mindset and pour into myself. And when I did eventually come to that place of valuing myself, loving myself, setting boundaries, honoring and respecting what it is that I really wanted, I got clear on what I wanted. And just being open and vulnerable and not afraid to share that. You either like it or you don't. And I don't give a shit either way. You're either on board or you're not. And it's cool. I'm not for everybody. Once I got to that allowed me to attract a human being into my life that was just, she is the most amazing human being. She's so incredibly grounded, loving, peaceful, understanding, affirmative, and it would have been easy for me to, and has been easy for me to just kind of like, oh, that was just a coincidence, or yay, that finally happened. But I've had to look at it as, no, that actually worked. This process that I'm just explaining to you had worked for me. It first came through relationship, through connection, through love, which I know all of us human beings want at the end of the day. The one that's been the biggest challenge for me, I'd say the biggest, the other challenge, because they've both been challenges, is the money side. And so now I'm applying what I already know about health, what I've experienced in relationships, into my money and my career. And so embodying the end result, my career, the reason why I'm spending time here going live is so that I can communicate a message and share what I know, what I understand, where I can add value, knowing that somebody's going to hear this and say, hey, look, this aligns with me. Let's bring you in. Let's come and have you talk to our team. Let's bring you to a conference of ours, or our quarterly retreat, kickoff retreat, whatever. However, groups bring me in to do 4 and 5 hour workshops, or to just keynotes. Regardless, I can project now what I do and what value I can bring, knowing that I love me, and I feel, and the name's right there, right? The freedom. I feel the joy. I feel a tremendous amount of respect for myself and the work that I've done to get to this point. It from anybody else. I don't need it through any vehicle. I just know that it's already here. I already got it. And the rest just needs to play itself out. It's just logistical at this point, one foot in front of the other, taking action. I mean, obviously that's an important piece, is taking action. So as we end here, let me recap. Number one, leaders so commonly look at the vehicle in order to get them the results that they really want, not the scoreboard results, not the numbers, the money, the revenue, the title, the responsibility, the head count that you're overseeing, not any of that. Those are just vehicles, and they're scoreboard stuff that we can't control. What is it that you really want? And what that is, what you identify what that is, you need to now make that the prerequisite for what you do for stepping into this really. I can't step in this leadership role until I feel, you name it, freedom, respect, love for myself, unconditional love for myself. I'll put that in there. The joy. I need to feel those things before I can step into this leadership role. Not how much money they're paying you, not head count, not title. That's not the prerequisite for you stepping into this role. It's, do I already feel these things? And if not, it's probably not a good time to step into that role. Because again, that marker is going to continue to move and you're never actually going to ever experience it. That's the most powerful piece. All right, my friends, if I can be of support, again, just shoot me a message in the comments here. Was this helpful? Does this make sense? I was really trying to not make it so esoteric and really just bring it down, make it grounded into something that's tactical within an organization or for a leader. So I hope that was of value to you. My friends, I'll catch you on Friday. Let me know. I'm totally wide open. Was this helpful? Do you want to hear more of this? Is there something else that you want to hear? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all. Subscribe, and that way, obviously, you can get pinged next time, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday.